Hey, welcome to another episode in our new series, 30 Days to Investing, where I ask businessmen and women this question. If tomorrow morning you had to start all over from ground zero with no money and no network, but with all the knowledge you have today, how would you get started? And so this week we interview a good friend of mine, Bruno Freitas, the owner and operator of Empire Pavers here in the Bay Area of California. They specialize in landscaping, hardscaping, outdoor living spaces, the premier company. If you're redoing your yard, you want to contact them. And so I asked Bruno, after years of building businesses, having come over to America as an immigrant from Brazil, how would he get started from ground zero? Check it out. Hey, I want to, if you have a couple more minutes, I know your phone's probably blowing up with all your employees.
No,
and your
only
job.
24 calls. Nothing major.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I probably average 24 calls a year. You got 24 calls in the last 50 minutes we've been on this Zoom call. Here's my question to you. And this is what I love asking everyone because it gives us an idea, for where everyone is, what we can do today to maybe model ourselves or, actually apply something we learned. If tomorrow morning, and I hope this doesn't happen, if tomorrow morning you had to start all over, ground zero, something happened, you have to start over, and you had no money and you had no network, but you had all the learning, all the lessons you learned in the past few years, what would you do starting tomorrow?
I'll be able to build everything again within 3 months. Like it doesn't scare me anymore. Like I broke my boundary line from like the cap of where I can get. I know exactly what I need. Who do I need? Like where do I have to go? Even if I have no connections, I'll make new connections because I know where to go to. So it's like, don't expect someone to just show up and give you a full blueprint, do this and that's it. No one's story can be copy and like my wife gets so mad at me on this stuff. People call me like, dude, I'm going through this right now. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I had a lady calling us. She's like, I'm about to take my life away. I'm gonna suicide tonight. Like, whoa, what's going on? I have this biggest debt that I made it. I fell into a pyramid scheme. This guy promised me so much money, all those stuff, right? And I was like, oh my gosh. My brain goes back, okay, 2016. Why 2016? I kind of went through the same thing. I'm like, all right, how much is it? How much is this big chunk of money? It's so funny that people they like or whenever we post something about our family or whatever, and then they just have their lives. And then when something bad happens, they call us first. I don't know why, but they call us first, say, you have the solution to my problem, which is like no money, right? Someone that calls me like, hey, bro. So this lady called, right? Anyway, so she called and then she was like, I have this big debt and I have to pay this. Oh my gosh, I'm going to take my life. I'm like, hold on, you're not going to take your life. How can I pray for you? I'm Christian. I pray all the time. And then she basically said, oh, it's $70,000. And I'm like, okay, that's you. Yeah. You're going to take your life because of $70,000. Okay. All right, what happened? Oh, this and this happened and blah, blah, blah. And she shared the whole thing. And I was like, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do a friend loan. You know what a friend loan is? Friend loan is like, let's say all of you guys come in, you do a raffle, you pick a number. Let's say January to December, we got 12 people, right? Everyone pitch in $1,000 every month. And then you pick your number, and then at one point, you're going to get your money, right? So let's say I pick number 7. So on July, I'll get that $12,000 because everyone's pitching in $1,000 in. So it's like a forced in and a pushed in friends loan, right? Which is no interest, no nothing. Everyone pitching $1,000 every month, and everyone gets their 12 grand in the packet once, right? Every month. Whoever gets selected for that month. So I told her to do this, and then I went through her. I gave her books. I gave her the boundary books. A lot of books that I read, and then basically. She came here right before Christmas. It was the last payment, and she was able to raise the money that she needed, which was more than 70 grand, I think, by just doing that, calling people that she can trust and people that will be willing to pitch in. And then at the end of the day, it was like she had a plan, exiting plan in front of her, but she couldn't figure it out herself. Why? Because we need people. We need
Yep.
people that can speak with us. So when you're inside the storm, you're not going to be able to see the problems. You're not going to be able to see the things that's really drawing you away from your purpose. So I just showed to her, and she hugged us like, "Oh, you saved my life." I'm like, no, we didn't. We just told you what you do, which is a simple thing. But because you're inside the storm, you don't see it, things like that, right?
Yep.
So if everything goes away today, if it is the will of God to take everything away, yeah, sure, whatever. Let's start again. It's why I say this so humbly, because I come from nothing. Being with nothing is just what I grew up with. So it's like, yeah, whatever.
It's not scary.
It's not scary. It's not that bad, guys. Trust me, it's not that bad.
And we live, and in all honesty, we live in a great country that will give you money if everything goes away, and you can figure out a way to access free money. Now, what you're hearing from Bruno's highly visionary. If you guys have done Rocket Fuel's visionary versus integrator assessment, Bruno would score extremely high on visionary and probably medium on integrator, right? He just said, I said, Bruno, what would you do starting tomorrow? He said, oh, that's easy. I'll just figure it out. I've been through worse than this. It's fine. But if you had one step, like, hey, I would probably start with this, what would that be? What would that one step be?
Yeah. So the first thing that I will do is just find the right people.
Where do you think you would find them?
So the right people for you in the street will probably be people that's already doing better than we do. Like, make connections. Connections is the most important things for you to do. So trade shows, seminaries, those are the type of things that will cost you $100, $150, where we have this thing all over the Bay Area, almost weekly. You can find a seminary, a place where you can go and just listen to people talk. And then as they're talking, you try to look around and, oh, that's a real estate lady. Okay, that's a banker. That's an investor. Oh, that's a guy that flipped houses. Just show up to seminaries like that. And that's where I would just start it, just going to meetings and places where I can connect with people that's already doing it.
Yep. I love that. I remember one story I remember from you is we were on Treasure Island at this business. I forget who the entrepreneur was. There's some entrepreneur that they brought out, and we were on Treasure Island at that cafe.
It was the creator of VMware.
Yeah. VMware. Yeah.
VMware. Yeah, that's right.
So we're sitting in a room. This is the funniest thing. Me, Bruno, probably 30 other people with the founder or CEO of VMware. And it gets to the part of questions. And it's just like this Zoom call, right? Everyone was kind of hesitant. Bruno is the only person that I know, and this has happened multiple times, where he just stood up and raised his hand. He said, I have a question. And it was super personal about his business. But one thing I've always loved about you, Bruno, is you just ask. Yeah. There's no shame. Like, you're not like, oh, well, I want to give everyone else a chance. Like, no, I've got a question that I need answered. Yeah. And so I'm going to ask the question. And you can imagine, right? You can imagine how everyone else felt in the room. They're like waiting to see who was going to ask the first question. And Bruno just like, me, I've got it. Yeah. I've got the question for the CEO of VMware. I need it answered today, right now. And that's the kind of person you are. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I don't let opportunities just pass in front of me without jumping on it. I'll jump on it. If I fail, I'll jump on it again and again and again and again and again. And like I met Don Robbins, I met all these guys, and I have pictures with them somewhere. I don't even know where it is. But it's like I asked them the same question: what's the secret of your success? Tell me. Yep. And they always say, "Well, you got to work hard." They'll give their answer, but it always comes down to if you love what you're doing, just consistently do it over and over and over and over and over until it happens. Yep. Don't give up. Just keep doing it. If this is what it is, maybe I'm just here trying to make an extra money and like you don't really have any passion or desire for this industry, you just focus on the money. I'm sorry, then you're going to fail. You just will fail. Like 100%. It needs to be something that drives you. Like I can go for hours here. I love it. Well, we're at 11:05.